Hello, my name is Saul Rodriguez.
My name is Eli Munoz.
My name is Carlos Torres. Today we're going to be talking about the chapter one of the Fundamentals of Building Construction textbook for our technology class with Lonnie Delgado. We're going to be talking we're going to be talking about sustainable buildings, the work of the design professional, the work of the construction professional, and trends in the delivery of design and construction services.
So, for the project delivery methods, there are two types mainly two types of uh, delivery methods that are used commonly with construction. Um, the design bid build method is where the owner contracts separately with an architect or a designer team and a general contractor as well. The responsibilities remain divided throughout the project, which is typically excluded sequentially. So that way the project is divided amongst a professional team and it isn't too much work for just a single firm or even a single architect. And the second method is the design build um, delivery method, which in this approach, one of the entities is responsible for both the design and construction. This method fosters closer working relationships among the constructors and contractors and allows for integrated consideration of constructability, cost control, and scheduling. They both have their benefits towards constructing a building. It just depends on what the client would like. So for construction management, there was two different types as well that I saw in the chapter one. The at-fee construction management provides project management services and assists the owner in contracting directly for various services. This doesn't mean that they assume direct responsibility for the quality of the construction work. This is just that they would also be helping like with other parts of the project as well. And the at-risk method of construction management is when like a general contractor, he takes on a greater responsibility for construction quality and for the schedule and the cost, just being on top of everything and making sure that the project is where it has to be. So phase construction, it was pretty simple. Um, it's known as a fast track construction, and it involves overlapping design and construction activities to reduce overall project time. This is so that the project can be met on schedule, can be as cost efficient as possible for the clients. And while this method accelerates timelines, it introduces complexities and risks associated with the incomplete design during initial construction phases because if a project may be lacking something, it may the phase construction may not take into consideration the time that may be needed. A lot of what this chapter had to go over was about sustainable building practices. And the first that I found was embodied energy. This is the total energy consumed throughout a material's life cycle, from extraction to disposal. Um, Lower embodied energy often equates to fewer greenhouse gas emissions and less non-renewable resource consumption. The life cycle analysis evaluates environmental impacts over the entire life cycle of a material or product. Variations like cradle to gate analysis focus on impacts only up to the point where the product leaves the factory. Embodied water highlights the fresh water consumed during a material's life cycle. So as you can see, there's many different methods that just kind of like regulate the different parts of the earth. That way, um, the projects can be eco-friendly. So the sustainable materials, um, they are considerations while selecting the materials for the projects. These when when the designers are trying to not damage the earth, they choose non-renewable resources. Um, Look into transportation methods that aren't too carbon emitting and they look out for possible toxic emissions. And this information can come from product manufacturers or independent third parties, depending on who they are working with. Okay, and there was some information about LEED. This is an adopted green building certification that focuses on energy savings, water efficiency, CO2 emission reduction, improved indoor environmental quality, and stewardship of resources. This is a really great method that has allowed for architecture to not only look beautiful but also keep the environment safe. And the living building challenge has kind of incorporated also this concept because as you can see with this image, there's like it sets a higher aspiration for ensuring buildings generate their own energy, and they operate off of fresh water consumption and produce no greenhouse gas emissions. Okay. Um, Another thing that the chapter went over was project scheduling and management. Um, the critical path method is crucial in order for the project to be scheduled. Identifying the sequence of critical tasks that determine the minimum project duration are essential, and it considers dependencies among long tasks, resource ability, and project costs during detailed network diagrams and scheduling tools. The building commissions, um, these ensure that buildings meet performance expectations through rigorous testing and operational guidance. It's essential for systems like HVAC, um, and sustainable design. The whole building performance is affected by it. It is required for obtaining the LEED certification. We had some advances in construction technology also be mentioned. The first being building information modeling, which is BIM. BIM is a transformative technology for managing building data across the life cycle from designing through to maintenance. It supports three-dimensional and intelligent representations of building components and their interrelationships, facilitating improved coordination and class detection among different systems. The lean construction is inspired by manufacturing efficiencies. Lean construction focuses on minimizing waste, reducing complexity, and decentralizing decision making. This approach improves materials flow, workflow, force efficiency, and overall project reliability. This is really good as technology and methods continue to improve over the years, which allow us to save money and turn and develop faster building methods. The compensation and risk management, I found a various amount of these. So the first was the fixed fee. This is when the contractor is paid a lump sum regardless of the actual cost incurred. It minimizes the owner risk but increases the contractor's risk. The cost plus fee is when the owner pays actual cost plus an additional fee. This shifts cost uncertainty to the owner who benefit from any savings but also bears the risk of cost overruns. And the incentives and surety bonds, they incentives, they are incentives provision can align contractors and owner interests by sharing cost savings. Surety bonds, including performance and payment bonds, protect the owner from financial risk like contractor default. The reason that these three have been, uh, since there's the reason that there is three of them is so that depending what the client would like, it would be a more flexible option. Everybody works differently, and this has allowed for contractors to work at their own risk.
In construction projects involve numerous details that and require the coordination of various professionals, resources, and standards. This chapter provides a detailed overview of construction project delivery methods, construction standards, and information resources that are essential for architects, engineers, and construction managers. Um, there are two main main methods of construction and working in new build and residential and commercial. The first one is design, bid, and build construction. It's the traditional method, the one that is most common to be used, where the owner contracts a design team. The design team develops a plan for the construction, and then on a separate note, there are subcontractors and construction firms that bid on the project based on the plans that were created by the architects and the engineers. What this does is it allows the construction firm to review the documents to submit bids. The owner evaluates the bids and selects a contractor. The advantages of this is there's well-established legal precedents, there's clear organization and structure, and the owner retains control over the design. The challenges that come with this is that there's potential for adversarial relationships between design and construction teams, and there's longer project durations. The second method of construction would be the design and build construction, where a single entity handles design and construction. There is integrated execution. It allows the potential for faster construction and requires a high level of trust. The owner defines requirements without detailed construction plans. And the selected entity is responsible for overall project execution from design throughout construction. There's a single source of accountability. There's early integration of construction expertise into design, and there's a potential for faster project completion throughout the whole build. So a construction manager may be involved in two different ways. The first one is at fee. The construction manager provides project management services and assists the owner and contractor directly the various services. Although the construction manager is not directly responsible for the construction work. The second would be at risk, where the construction manager acts similarly as a general contractor and takes on the responsibility for construction quality, schedule, and costs. There's different associations that develop standard research programs and technical literature for construction materials. There is the ASTM International, establishes material and methodological standards in construction. For example, the quality for Portland cement. There's American National Standards Institute. It certifies standards for products like exterior windows and mechanical components. There's the International Organization for Standardization, ISO, which contributes globally to construction standards. There is the U.S. Department of Commerce, National Institute of Science and Technology, the NIST, and it is a government-sponsored facility for research and construction standards. As well as there's the National Research Council Institute for Research in Construction. They set Canadian standards for construction products and systems. There's different systems that are commonly used in the scheduling and organization of these different materials, budgets, contractors, subcontractors, and these are the top three. The main one will be the master format system. It It organizes construction specification using 50 primary divisions. It facilitates information organization during the construction phases. It ranges from procurement and contracting requirements to specific trades like concrete and masonry. And it's further subdivided into sections detailing specific materials and work. Uniformat is a system based on organization. It groups information by functional systems such as substructure, shell, interiors, exteriors, etc. There is high levels of detail divided into various levels, offering flexibility for different project stages. And it allows the users to view use cases, which is ideal for early design stages and performance specification. There is OmniClass, which would be a kind of a combination between the master format and the unit format. It merges multiple organizational systems. It includes tablets for spaces, elements, work results, and products, and it facilitates comprehensive data management across the building lifecycle. In construction, there also has to be regulatory compliance. There, such as the International Building Code of Fire Resistance, which specifies ratings for structural elements, such as the one shown on table 601 and 602, which shows us the fire resistance of different materials like drywall, wood, weight-bearing walls, non-weight-bearing walls, roof elements. There are height and area limits which dictate the maximum building size based on construction type and occupancy group. There are natural light, ventilation, and egress rules, which set the standard for fundamental aspects of building design to ensure occupational safety. There are accessibility codes, which are set by the ADA, which is the Americans with Disabilities Act. There are certain entities that focus only on health and safety codes, such as OSHA, which ensure the workplace safety, and the local, state, and federal fire codes, which mandate maintenance of egress pathways and fire protection systems.
Ya pues, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Okay. Um, Integrated construction project management. The integrated construction project management deals with a comprehensive approach to managing construction projects by integrating various aspects, such as design, planning, scheduling, risk management, and modern technological tools. Um, this section is divided into construction scheduling, contractual relationships, and risk management, phased and sequential construction methods, efficiency and productivity improvements, advances in information technology, and project delivery methods. Okay. Phased and sequential construction methods. Sequential construction is divided into the process that is design phase that completes before the construction begins, typically use it into design, bid, building, and projects. Its benefits are that it offers a structured progression, but it can be time consuming. The fast track construction is its process overlaps design and construction phases to expedite project completion, and its risk and management. It introduces risks like undefined projects scope and increases design errors, commonly used in design build and construction management methods and early contractor involvement to manage complexities. For efficiency and productivity improvements, um, its principles in lean construction, its principles are to reduce the complexity in ways while optimizing workflow. It's decentralized decision making by putting control in the hands of the works of the teams. Um, For vertical integration, is combining design, supply chain, maintaining, manufacturing, prefabrication, and construction into a single entity for streamlined processes. In advances in information technology, there's this thing called building information modeling, BIM, and its capabilities are that it's 3D. You can do like 3D objects based and parametrics modeling tools that link to components into like data. Its implementations are that it enhances communication, coordination, and class detection among design disciplines. It extends the benefits into construction phases and post-occupancy operations. Um, for project delivery methods, there's a integrated project delivery (IPD). Its framework is that is a collaborative approach involving the design team, construction team, and the owner. Is the shared responsibilities, risk, and rewards towards the common project goals. So actually, in this one, they work together to develop like the building and the design. For the design build, um, is just like a single entity handles both design and construction, growing significantly in the construction